I'm Julie Duell. Happy New Year. You're watching Spotlight on Sparks. And today we have my first guest. It's Andrew Yankerat from RTC. And we wanted to talk a little bit about some signal timing that we're working on around Sparks Boulevard and Vista Boulevard. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure, Julie. So the RTC, in partnership with the City of Sparks, we work together to retime all the traffic lights in our region. Right now, we're starting a brand new signal timing phase, signal timing 6, where we're starting a 3-year cycle again. And we're going to look at Sparks Boulevard and Vista Boulevard and retime those signals because we timed them 3 years ago, and standard practice do state that signals should be retimed on a 3 to 5 year basis, and Sparks and Vista Boulevard are due, and we are going to retime the signals so it will reflect the new demand of traffic that Sparks has been encountering with all the development that's been happening in Spanish Springs.
And I know that the new Veterans Parkway kind of had a little bit to do with it too. There's a little bit more traffic backup in that area.
Absolutely.
Can you speak to that?
Yes, so obviously with the opening of the Southeast Connector, there's been more demand of traffic trying to get to Vista Boulevard, Sparks Boulevard, because people are seeking an alternative way to get to Spanish Springs instead of taking the Spaghetti Bowl. So that's why you see all this backup that's happening at Veterans. But we will try to retime those signals so that we can get traffic flowing through those areas a lot faster. The main issue is the freeway. We want to make sure we don't get too much time on Sparks or Vista Boulevard in a way that's going to delay the off-ramp. We don't want cars stacking up all the way to the freeway because you don't want cars stop and you have 70-mile-an-hour cars just zipping right past it. So we want to do a balance between the two, and doing that balance, we might not be able to achieve all the traffic to get through Sparks or Vista Boulevard, but we will do our best in relooking and retiming those signals.
Right. So, and what is the timing, do you think, before when this project will be completed and the timing will be complete?
So typically it takes us about 2 to 3 months to start retiming signals from start to finish. So we will be starting probably this February, and we look completing this project probably March or April. We'll be looking at the old timing plans that we have, and we'll be adding additional signal timing plans, not including the weekdays and the weekends and even the holidays. And also we will try to add more plans to reflect the higher demands when there's a peak shopping town around Legends.
So we talked a little bit about Sparks Boulevard and Vista, but that's not the only signal timing that you're looking at. It's kind of a bigger, broader project, correct?
Correct. So with our signal timing project, as I mentioned, we are retiming them on a 3-year basis where we're actually retiming all the traffic signals in our region.
Sure, and so then you'll just continue on with the cycle throughout Sparks, is
Yes,
that right?
yes. So after Sparks and Vista, we'll look at Pyramid Way again, Rock Boulevard, Audie, North McCarran, and so forth.
Right, and what about signals on pedestrian timers?
Yeah, so this previous round of signal timing, we went ahead and re-measured all the crosswalks at every signal in Sparks. We updated the timing to reflect current standards. Not only just the pedestrians, but the yellow and red timing, we also updated that to current practices.
Great, because we know pedestrian safety is
Exactly.
really huge. It's a hot topic right now, and obviously for safety, both
Absolutely.
of this timing is great for not only pedestrians, but drivers as well.
Right, not only that, the timing that we've noticed has gotten longer from what it was before. So it should give people plenty of more time to make their crossings at an intersection.
Great, anything else you want to mention?
I think that is all. I just ask for you guys' patience, and we will get to every signal as fast as we can.
Great. Thank you so much, Andrew. Thanks
Thank
for
you,
being on the
Julie.
show. My next guest is Fire Chief Jim Reed, and we just got a very cool grant from Firehouse Subs. Can you tell me what it was for and why it's kind of cool and important?
Yeah, it's actually very exciting to be, working with a restaurant that is within our city. And so we got a grant for 3 extrication tools. It's a combi tool, which means it can actually, spread something apart, and when it comes back together, it actually cut metal or whatever we need to cut. So it's pretty exciting and a new tool that we're going to have on our apparatus.
I know during the council meeting recently, you kind of showed what this piece of equipment replaces, and it seems like it was a lot more equipment before, a lot more to carry around and put together, and this seems much more simple.
Right, so the new technology, it's like all of our tools at home now, it's just battery powered. So it's replacing a hydraulic unit that we used to have, a separate pump. And that pump would need hoses to take the fluid to the tool. So now it's all, there's still some fluid inside of here, but it's all contained, and we just have one little rechargeable battery to take care of it all.
So what will this be used for? Is it kind of for helping cut apart a car in a car crash or something? Or
Yeah,
what
for the most part, it's, we say in car crashes, we're trying to put the car back to where it was so we can get the people out. So yeah, it can open up a door, it can cut small things. We're still going to have larger tools for the bigger, more complex things that we need to do, but this will get us started, and this will allow us to do a lot of things before the bigger tools do show up.
How thankful are we to Firehouse Subs? I think it's just great.
Well, yeah, very thankful. I mean, and, a grant of $34,000, just can't find that amount of money in your budget, and they've been great to work with.
And we're going to talk to Damon, the owner of Firehouse Subs, and he's going to talk to us about this grant as well.
We do have the Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation. Was founded in 2005, shortly after Hurricane Katrina. The two brothers that founded Firehouse Subs, Robin Sorensen and Chris Sorensen, took buses full of food down to the Gulf Coast to help feed first responders, and they ended up feeding a bunch of victims. And when that event was over, they got home and they felt this greater calling to do something more and to give back to the community. So they started the Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation. To date, they've given away over $48 million worth of life-saving equipment and grants and scholarships across the country. So when Sparks Fire Department put in their grant request, I sent in a form as well, trying to let them know that the Sparks Fire Department does visit our establishment on a regular basis, and they're great, and we want to have this great working partnership going forward. They helped us when we opened the restaurant to put up some old equipment and some things around the fire department, as well as some pictures, and so that was great for them to do that for us on the local level, but nationally for us to get this grant approved was something we were really hoping for, and really glad that they came to see the need and to help out the city of Sparks.
Chief, anything else you want to say about this great new tool or Firehouse Subs or anything?
No, I believe Damon talked about it in the council meeting, that there's 3 ways to donate. When you do make an order, they'll ask you if you want to round up to the next dollar, and that money goes towards your, these types of grants for fire and rescue people. I believe there's a jar you can drop some money in, or I believe you can even buy their old pickle jars.
Yeah.
I think it's like $3, but all that money does go towards, supplying grants for fire departments around the region and the country.
Not to mention their subs are great, and their salads are great.
They are very good. I eat there too.
Yeah, all right. Thank you very much, Chief. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you.
My next guest is Brian Kaysen. He's our Capital Projects Manager, and he's going to talk to us about Victorian Square. I know last year we did some beautification down there. Is this kind of a continuation of that project this year?
Yeah, along Victorian Avenue, we've been working on different phases to beautify Victorian Avenue. The original components of that area were constructed about 30 years ago, and they're aging. The concrete's starting to crack. There's some uneven areas. Some of the trees and tree planters need to be replaced. So that's what we're going to be working on this phase 2B, basically on each side of the Nugget Event Center and to the south of the Victorian Avenue area, along with removing an existing bus stop that is no longer used by RTC.
So that kind of opened it up a little bit too with that area, give it a little bit more room down there?
Yeah, it'll open it up a little bit, replacing pavers, replacing concrete, replacing trees, that sort of thing.
And I know you recently did that kind of in front of some of the businesses down there, and it looks so nice, and those tree wells are bigger, and they actually provide some seating as well.
Yes, absolutely. They provide more adequate seating. They're bigger. They allow the trees to grow a little bit more. The other ones were too small. They were just getting lifted up by the roots. On the previous phase, we actually have a little bit of artificial turf that still provides some greenery in there along with the new trees.
Great. Well, I appreciate you letting us know, and thank you very much for being on the show.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brian. My next guests are Tracy Dominguez and Chris Cobb from our Parks and Recreation Department. And I think we have some pretty exciting news about Poloquitas Park, which is kind of by Lincoln Elementary and Dilworth Middle School. Can you tell me about that project, Chris? Can you go ahead?
Sure. We're excited to say that we're going to be removing the existing wood structure kind of platform playground that's out there for the 5 to 12-year-olds and actually coming back with 2 new structures. There's currently a dirt area where there used to be a 2 to 5 aged play area that has been gone for a lot of years now. So we'll actually be bringing a new structure in there, as well as a brand new aged 5 to 12 structure in the larger pit. as well as we'll be putting a larger saucer disc swing in there that serves all three mobilities, in that you can get a parent with a baby to be able to lay in it, multiple children, that usually is what you see, various ages in it, or even a kid with a disabilities that has difficulty, that they can lay in these saucer disc swings. So it kind of serves all three variables that we're trying to with the swing.
And how important is that, Tracy, for us to really think it through so it really works for all abilities in new parks like this, or new equipment in an old park kind of?
I think it's really important. Parks and Rec is about social equity and providing safe access to quality programs and playgrounds. And this is going to get us one step closer. This is overdue, and I can't wait to see this park get rejuvenated with this equipment.
Oh, that sounds great. About how much is this project going to cost?
Overall, you're close to about $170,000 plus between purchasing the equipment and installing it.
And then when do we think this is going to be kind of started and completed?
Typically, it takes about 6 to 8 weeks for equipment to arrive, because now that you have approval to purchase it, it takes a bit to build it and then ship it over here. And then we'll be working with our contractor, just looking at weather and look at when the best time is. I would expect this spring sometime to see the equipment, the old structure coming out and the new equipment going in.
And I loved seeing students come in at the council meeting recently to talk about how excited they were about the project.
My name is Emily Noble. I'm from Sparks, and I represent Lincoln Park School. We would like to say that we would be very blessed if we could, for the new park equipment, the new playground equipment for the park behind our school.
This should really make them happy. Everywhere we've been able to do this in some of our older neighborhoods, you actually see people coming back into the park with their kids.
And that's what it's all about, getting outside, enjoying the outdoors. Anything else you want to say, Tracy, about this project at all? Or?
No, I was equally pleased to see the children show up at council today. I love to see their involvement and the school staff as well. So I'll definitely be reaching out to them and including them in our ribbon cutting. And
that sounds
when it
great.
opens.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you both for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm Julie Jewell. Thanks for watching Spotlight on Sparks.